So today, I want to give you the #1 simple solution to not only improve, but incredibly improve your shot. This solution will not only improve your shooting, but incredibly improve it in a very short amount of time. You ready? Let's go. Listen, I'm someone who went from not being able to shoot the three at all to becoming a very prolific three-point shooter. My senior year in high school, despite averaging 28 points a game, I made only three, that's right, 3 threes the entire season. Yet less than 12 months later, I had the record for my university's most made threes in a single game. I made 8 threes in one game, which is more than I made my entire high school senior year. I also went on to finish in the top 10 of three-pointers made all time at my university. Even as a professional player, while in the NBA G League, I was able to shoot the gold standard, which is 40% from the NBA three-point line, which is a step further out than your normal three-point line. There was one specific thing that took my form, took my shot mechanics, took my shot making from less than average to awesome. And we're gonna talk about that today. You see, any shot has 3 components. It's your lower body, whatever your legs are doing, how low you like to get, how wide you like to get. Then there's your upper body, which is everything above the waist, from the catch positioning to the follow through. Then there's your shot cadence, rhythm, whatever you want to call it, the speed at which you flow through your shot. All types of great shooters have proven that they can shoot from different levels with their lower body. Some weight low, some stand high. Steph Curry really changed the dynamic of three-point shooting because he barely jumps. Whereas Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, who were some of the greatest three-point shooters previously, always jumped. You can do anything with your lower body as long as it's consistent and still become a great shooter. We've also seen shooters shoot at different cadence. Some catch and release really fast. Some are slow shooters like Luka Doncic. So as long as you're consistent, there's not one specific cadence that works. However, when it comes to the upper body, there's one component of shooting that all great shooters mimic, and it is the locked out follow through. That's right, we're talking about this form right here. And this is the one thing that took me from being a below average shooter to becoming a prolific shooter. And this is what we're gonna hone in on. So first, let's talk about what we are looking for when we say a completely locked out follow through. What you'll see is a lot of athletes, when they shoot the ball, they'll have an alligator arm or a locked out follow through that goes straight ahead. My kids used to do this a lot, okay? This type of form here. What we wanna see is this cleft in the elbow being right next to the eye. Now that is very, very extreme. I know a lot of good shooters that shoot it a little bit like this, but I found as a small guard, locking that elbow close to my eye made my shot very hard to block, even when taller players were contesting my shot. What this allowed me to do was to have one shot form. So I wasn't shooting like this on free throws, and then when I'm shooting a deep three, I gotta shoot like that. I was able to pretty much lock in one form, and it was always a locked out follow through. So you may be saying, how do we perfect this? How do we practice this? I'm gonna give you a couple of quick tips that'll help you learn to lock this in. The major thing to do is just to know what to do and to watch for it and continue to harp on it and look out for it. I'm gonna teach you 3 failures that happen most often with athletes when they first start to practice or hone in on the locked out follow through. So first what you're gonna do is get you a heavy ball. This is about a 3-pound ball. It allows for the strength in the shoulders, the strength in the forearms, the strength in the triceps. What this is gonna do is make the regular ball feel so much lighter. So when your athlete is following through, they're going to be able to extend and hold that arm higher for longer periods, and they're going to become stronger in the long run. What we basically do with this is just form follow through shooting and making sure we're locking that in. They can be doing that in their room, in a garage, or at a hoop. Another great thing that will help is what I call sit backs. For sit backs, we're gonna sit back on the wall and work on locking in that follow through and holding it after the ball hits the ground. That could be with a heavy ball or with a regular ball. No matter what, there are tons of drills you can do to practice shooting. Just Google it, look on YouTube, you can see them everywhere. But the biggest thing that all of these drills are missing is focus on the locked out follow through that is close to the eyes. If this is the first time you're going to really focus on your follow through, there are 3 particular fails that I normally see as a trainer. The first and most prevalent fail is what I call the fading follow through. This is essentially where athletes shoot but don't have the strength to hold the follow through up. It may fade to the right, left, or front, but you start to see a lot of athletes doing this. I'll show you from the back just so you can see it better, like one of those type numbers. There are a ton of drills you can do to fix this, but the most important thing you can do is to pay attention to it. Now, after the fading follow through, it's the feel that most often throws athletes off when they first begin to practice a follow through. This is because they've never practiced with a completely locked out arm. A lot of times, there's so much additional strength when they get to locking out that arm. And what this usually causes is for the shot to land harder at the rim. You'll start to see the hard shot that really ricochets off the rim. The feel or touch is something that they're going to adapt to over time. So just encourage them to at least give it a week and make sure that their misses are landing inside the paint, meaning the follow through is high and the ball is getting softer. The last fail that causes athletes to not really want to hone in on their follow through is simply forgetting. This actually occurs after athletes start to have success with shooting the ball. They begin to gain so much confidence as shooters that they actually forget what got them there in the first place. So what you'll see a lot of good shooters start to do is, because they know they're gonna make it, they're gonna drop their hands. And they've really perfected the ability to release the ball high, and now they feel like, I don't need to hold my follow through. Well, what happens after practicing that bad habit over and over again, eventually they lose the touch element and they start to miss shots again, and they wonder why. Well, it's because you forgot about your follow through. So whether it's the fading, whether it's the feel, or whether it's the forgetfulness, one thing you can do as a parent is always remind your athlete to stay locked in on your follow through. And I promise you can become an incredible shooter in no time. Now, if you're wanting to become a better ball handler, check out our JP3 Better Ball Handling series today, and let me know what you think in the comments.